We have to be careful not to get carried away, I think. You know, it's a good win. It's on the back of another win, but it's still early days for Graham Potter, and, you know, he's still working out exactly what he's got at his disposal here, isn't he?
Yeah, of course. It is early days, and you know, it is about taking it game by game. Obviously, we spoke about, you know, how tactically flexible it is. The players will still be figuring out, you know, when in game they're going to change, when they're going to stay the same. You know, going back to the point on English players, what I love about it is the English players are the difference. You know, the guys like Reece James, Conor Gallagher coming in, Mason Mount today, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. These guys are actually the difference in this team. And it seems like a continuation of, you know, what I think Tuchel tried to do as well with young players, Frank Lampard before that with some of the English players. So I think there's an identity that, you know, needs to happen for Chelsea, but it's early days. But these are good signs. It's a good win tonight. Absolutely.
And it's an evening, actually, that totally changes the way the group looks from a Chelsea perspective. They came into this evening bottom of the group. We said if they lost this one, it really would be a hard slog for them between now and qualifying for the knockout stages. However, they've won this evening, and this is what else has happened tonight as well. Salzburg played Zagreb, and with 20 minutes to go, Zagreb conceded a penalty. It was dispatched by Noah Okafor, and suddenly a group that looked like a problem for Chelsea looks very different indeed, as Darren Fletcher pointed out during commentary. This 3-0 win means they've got the best goal difference in the group, and they've gone from bottom to second in the group as well. So it's Salzburg who sit top with 5 points, Chelsea and AC Milan on 4, Dinamo Zagreb on 3. So it's still wide open, but it's certainly looking a lot better for Chelsea. The analysis that's coming your way after the break is going to be all about this win for Chelsea. We'll take a look at how they did it. We'll focus heavily on Reece James as well, and look at some of the mistakes that AC Milan made along the way. But it was a good night for Chelsea, a great night for Graham Potter, and a night that means they go to Italy in 6 days' time, full of confidence to take on AC Milan in their own backyard. Welcome back. A really good night tonight for Graham Potter. And, you know, among all the talk about the goals, it escapes your attention, and this is their first clean sheet, Chelsea, since the opening game of the season. A great night for them, and a great night for him. He's with Des.
Well, that was a great team performance. A lot of smiles out there. It was a great celebration as well.
Yes.
But it truly was a dominant performance. You must feel that in the dressing room.
Yes, definitely. Yes, it was not an easy game because I think they played well in the first half, but then we kept the intensity high, really high, and yeah, we were dominant and confident. So that was
goal at the weekend and a goal here tonight. You're enjoying time at Chelsea.
Yes, definitely. Yes, I'm feeling good. As I said, I was very well welcomed from all the teammates, all the team, all the staff. So I'm feeling very good.
It's funny how things turn out because you were on Milan's books as a youngster, weren't you? Dad was a scout.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bit strange to play against them after a lot of years, but yeah, that's football.
You took control after that first goal with Wesley Fofana's goal. Caused a bit of panic in there with a load of set pieces and corners. They couldn't just you penned them in.
Yeah, I think the first goal was really important. That gave us some strength and yeah, as I said, confidence to play the game. We knew what we had to do against Milan because they have great strikers as well, and I think the defenders made an incredible job today, so that's good.
And you went up a gear in the second half. Results like this, they bring the squad together, don't they? With new manager, players like yourself, new, it kind of bonds everybody.
Yes, definitely. Yes, you know, I think it's easier when you win games. So the mood is very good at the moment. So we try to keep it up, and yeah, that's it.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
See you again. Very nice. It does feel like there's some confidence starting to build back now, doesn't it, for this Chelsea team, who were brimming so much with confidence last season?
Yeah, I think you know, it's important for Chelsea to make sure that they continue, you know, a lot of the progress they made under Thomas Tuchel. Obviously, you know, winning the Champions League. Now a new manager. Yeah, now a new manager. And actually, I think there'll be similarities with Potter and Tuchel because they play that 3-4-3. And now Potter's got to just build on that. You know, now they've got goal scorer in Aubameyang, which I think Chelsea needed after Lukaku left. Now they've got, we talked about the English players, the energy, the opportunities given into players like Kepa. So there's kind of a new lease of life, but they've got to keep it going because it's a long season and this is obviously a really tough competition in the Champions League.
Right, let's get through the goals then, shall we?
Yep, Joe, you want to start off with a 1-0?
Yeah, well, look, we talk about this, they've gone zonal. They've got a lot of bodies back. You just highlight Thiago Silva here, really.
There is unmarked again.
Unmarked, and this is a deep free kick. And just as he whips it in, just look, you're 10 yards away from any AC Milan defender. Gets floated in, unmarked, he gets header. Keeper makes an half-decent save, something you should do. Then from the subsequent corner as it comes in, you would think they would have the bit now. Just stop it there again. If you pick him up, again, no one near him, right? But it's not. So when you play zonal, you must win the first contact. Again, it's a ball flighted in from Chilwell. They lose the first contact, Milan. Melee, it goes out again. The same thing happens again from the next corner. And it's like you'll be scratching. If as a manager, you'll be wanting someone in the box to pull it all together as the ball comes in, So as it zonal again, Thiago Silva has just put his head on two set pieces. Again, bang. Then when this happens, stop it there, This is the problem with zonal because you don't win the first contact, the ball becomes a melee. Then if you number all of them AC Milan defenders not doing anything, not getting close to no one, and you wonder. This is when they had the game in their grasp then, and they lost it. It got tapped in by Fofana, and it's just amateur defending from a club with historic reputation built on great defenders.
What in that situation? Why not react? Why be so rigid and keep doing the same thing for 3 successive corners that are separated by about 20 seconds?
When you've got a manager, from what the impression he gave me, Pioli, in the interview, is someone who's a bit of a taskmaster. We're going to put you here, then you're going to put you here, then you're going to put you here, and you're going to have to do this, and this. You don't give ownership for the players, so that's all right. But when the game gets messy, like that situation did, everyone's sort of looking around for, what do we do now? What do we do? What you want instinctive defenders, players like Rio or JT, someone like that, who would read that, would pull players around. If that happened, I guarantee you, in Rio's career, any opposition forward defender coming up with a set piece wouldn't have got 2 clean headers on the ball from set pieces. You wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, you recognise it in the moment, don't you?
Yeah.
You need someone to it shouldn't be the manager. A player, a defender, needs to recognise that and say, that can't happen again.
That's where a leader comes in and identifies that problem. I mean, we go to 2-0 here, and this is all about Reece James. This is like a phenomenal cross. But we spoke about Tomori here before, and this is before the ball's coming in. Look at Tomori before the game. We were talking about him as a potential England player. These are basic fundamentals that you've got to get right and iron out your game if you're going to be a proper top defender. For all the attributes that he does have, this is an area that you go, you know what, this is what you need to work on as well. When the ball's coming on here, he's in a fantastic position here. This is the area he's defending, not allowing the ball to get in and around here. The last thing that he should be doing is facing his own goal at this point. As I play it on here, the ball gets played in. His body should never, ever, ever be facing that way. Why? Because if he's going to touch it, the ball's going that way. Or for a corner. At the worst case scenario there, he plays it with his left foot. But he goes with his right foot and he gets himself in a muddle, and he never, ever adjusts his feet and gets back in. Them fundamentals, though, there, you see that mistake every single weekend in the Premier League with defenders, because I don't think the detail of defenders at the moment in the league is about defending those situations that come up every single week. They're not. I don't think they're focused on and dealt with in training, and repetitions of that enough in training at the moment.
Yeah, and as well, what he'll be even more disappointed Tomori is because he knows Reece James. He's known him since they were 7, 8 years of age, and he knows he's got the capabilities of putting the ball in that little area.
Okay, 3-0.
Well, I mean, Reece James, obviously, great cross there for the goal, for the second goal. And you just see here, he's just so smart in how he just waits for the overlap to happen. Just waits for the moment. And this is what I love here. How many times have we seen Reece James? One of his biggest attributes is striking the ball. How many times have we seen him strike a ball across the goal here? I love the deception here. He just waits and lifts it top corner. That is such an intelligent finish. Like I love that, because if he strikes it across the goal, it's still probably a goal. But he's just waiting. He's almost playing with the goalkeeper and then finishes it top. I think Reece James, best player in the second half, defensively and offensively. Obviously gets the assist for the second goal. and a deserved goal on the third one as well.
And it is a night where we can continue this conversation about the right-back role for England. You know, we were singing the praises of Trent Alexander-Arnold last night, and quite rightly, stunning free kick. But that changes nothing from Gareth Southgate's perspective, because he knows that Trent can do that. That's not in doubt. The question is the defensive side. So from what you saw tonight from Reece James, we've just shown some brilliant offensive football. What about the defensive side?
Well, he was up against Leao, who we highlighted before the game. And listen, if he didn't know before the game, Reece James knew after the first 10 minutes he was in for a tough night's work, because Leao came out the blocks flying, and I was screaming up here going, oh my gosh, he was moving people. Here he faces him up here, great touch and runs inside, leaves James at that point, and at that point James in his head's going, uh-oh, okay, I understand. Here again, great ball from Tonali, gets the ball here against Chalobah. Reece James comes 2v1, reputations mean nothing, I'll burst through that as well. Okay, this he's a bit hot, he's got feet. But what I loved about Reece James, in the second half he came out and said, right, I'm going to be aggressive with you. Almost gets moved there, nicks the ball. Right, again, 1v1 at the back here, me and you ain't going to go behind. If the ball goes short, I'm aggressive, give me the ball, get out of the way. Leao now knows, oh, I'm in for a fight this half. And then he says, you know what, as well as that, I'll defend you, but I'll also go and be an effective player at the other end of the pitch. I'll create a goal and I'll score one. And that's the difference with Reece James. He'll accept this fight, he wants the 1v1, understands that he has a responsibility to do that, and then he'll go and play up there. Listen, this guy, on the ball, I believe he's equally as good as Trent Alexander-Arnold. But defensively, right at this moment in time, I think he's a notch up. He defends better than Trent in 1v1 situations like that. And that's the difference with them at the moment. And it's going to be a great battle. I think this battle could go like this over the years, and it's a great subplot to football in the English Premier League at the moment.
And it's great for those two players to keep pushing each other.
What a great problem to have.
Yeah.
Do you know what as well? The best players normally have a rival.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You look at there's great
Gerrard, Lampard.
Yeah, exactly. And they push each other on. And I see that being the case with Trent and Reece. And at the moment, Reece is having a great spell. He's ahead of Trent in my eyes. But then it could also change, because you don't have a career that just does that the whole time. There are ups and downs in the road, and you've got to be able to deal with them. And Trent will come out of this spell. Great goal yesterday, and I'm sure we'll see positive stuff from him.
It was also interesting for us to see the impact that had on Leao as well when he came out more aggressively in the second half, because we obviously had a great vantage point up here, and Leao kind of almost gave up with about 25 minutes.
Do you know what, right? For all of his talent and everything tonight, you know, there would be scouts coming here and there'll be question marks on his attitude, because he went like most of his teammates tonight. He went a bit limp against Reece James. He didn't get it all his own way. First 20 minutes he was loving life, chest was out, and he was running at players. But then Reece James put it on him a little bit. And we watched his body language. We've got a great vantage point from up here. And there'll be listen, if you're going to spend 100 million on someone or whatever his price tag will be, you have to tick all the boxes. And there's still some unleft. There's time for him now, and he is exciting.
And do players think, like, not just the lack of recovery runs, but the way he was when he got subbed, do they think about the message that puts out there to other managers that might be watching and might be thinking about buying them?
No, I think when you're a player, you lack sometimes a little bit of awareness in situations like that. You're just thinking really wholly about, I'm getting dragged off and I haven't performed how I wanted to on the big stage, and you're a little bit sulky at times, and I understand that. Listen, I think he showed enough today to suggest that he's going to be a top player. Yeah. But there are aspects in his game that he's still got to work on. But he's a young player, and we were like that when we were kids. And I think he'll grow. He just needs the right guidance around him, right people around him, and he'll be top player.
Very good. Right, we're going to take a break for a couple of minutes. When we come back, we'll hear from Graham Potter. We'll get his thoughts on the win, on the clean sheet, on just how important tonight has been for their Champions League chances this season. It's certainly a result that moves them up the table, pushes them towards qualification to the knockout stages, and keeps the momentum going. See you in a minute. There was a really good positive energy inside Stamford Bridge this evening, driven by the fact that his team came out to play, they performed well, they got the win, and he's with Des.
Graham, that was a comprehensive victory. It's very difficult to fault anything in that display at all, really.
No, it was a good night for us. We needed to play well, and like I said before the game, have a good attitude. I thought the attitude and application of the players was fantastic, and really important win for us.
And after a little exchange in the first half, when that first goal went in, you pretty much took control from there.
Yeah, I thought we started off a little nervous, maybe 5 minutes, which is probably just a result of us wanting to do so well so much. But then you saw the appetite of the players, that we sort of got control of it, offered a bit of a threat, sort of pushing before the goal. The goal was important, I thought, the first goal, obviously, and then we had to start a little bit on the back foot in the second half, but suffered a little bit, which is good. And then obviously to score the second goal gives us a bit of a breather. But overall, can't complain. Clean sheet, 3 goals. Great personality of the players, really good.
Wesley Fofana, is bittersweet night for him because he scored. How's his injury? It looked like he banged a knee.
Yeah, it's we'll have to scan it tomorrow. We'll see how he is. Nothing to report at the moment, but that's the one disappointing thing of the evening.
Must be very satisfying with the Italian champions are there, and you are dominating them throughout the second half, pretty much.
Well, like I said, I thought it was a good performance from the team overall. I think apart from the end of the first half, they didn't have too many chances. So that says a lot about the team, about how we defended as a unit, and then we offered enough to attack, I thought, and score ourselves. But it's an important win, but obviously we've still got a long way to go in the competition, and we want to recover the game on the weekend, and then we'll see what happens next week.
And results like this help you put your identity on the squad, and then the players bond together, as we've just been saying with Pierre-Emerick. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, as I've said from the start, the boys have been really open. They've been really responsible, really honest. So they've been fantastic to work with. They realise that they weren't at the levels they've been at, and they know they can do better, and that's great from a coach's perspective. They've been really good to work with.
Thanks very much, Graham.
Thank you.
Jay, sorry, he's got a stylist. He's got a stylist.
You think so?
Yeah, there's a stylist in the camp.
Something's different, isn't it?
Yeah, he's faded out the beard. He's got the roll neck and the navy. He looks slick.
Yeah, but he's getting the performance to match. So it's fine if they come out and play like that, because let's get it right. OK, this is a guy who's had a fascinating management career, but you can argue in the Champions League at Stamford Bridge against AC Milan, it's probably the biggest sort of tactical test of his career, and he got it absolutely spot on. He did, and he's put the hard yards on. That VT we did when you see him going off to the Swedish third division to play his trade, that shows the measure of the man, really. The fact that he's put the hard yards in. He would have seen so much in his coaching career. So he's come here tonight, and he didn't look overawed. He looked very comfortable. I thought he looked comfortable in the first Champions League game we played. We made a big thing about him not, the newspaper reports of him not even attending a Champions League game, and now he's managing one. So I thought he got it spot on tonight tactically. I thought they was aggressive. I think he praised the personality of his players. I thought that come across, because even the substitutes, even Conor Gallagher coming on for 10 minutes, just at it, and that shows us a healthy squad. And he was keen to not get carried away. You could tell that as well. He was just playing it down.
I don't think Graham Potter's ever got carried away. Whenever I watch him in interviews, he's so sort of balanced and relaxed, win, lose or draw. And I like the fact that he's carried that on coming to a bigger club. If there was any question mark on Graham Potter, it would be how can he cope with better, big name players, big club, Champions League. And I think tonight proved that he's not fazed by it at all.
So far, so good. Yeah. Right, let me just remind you of what is still to come here on BT Sport, because there is plenty, isn't there? More European football coming your way tomorrow. We've got Man United in action in the Europa League. Arsenal are also in action against Bodo Glimt. Roma are playing as well tomorrow evening. And we've also got all of those teams in action, including West Ham against Anderlecht. So if you're after some action in the Europa League or the Europa Conference League, we are also the place for you as well. Right, straight after the break, stay where you are. Because Premier League tonight has been replaced by Champions League tonight in these midweeks, and it's straight after the break. See you shortly.